Welcome back, everybody, to the Play-by-Play podcast. We've taken a few weeks off, but it is new year, new us. I'm Cody. I'm joined here with Brian to my right. We have AJ sitting across from me, as well as Alex, our friend Red. So we got a few things to talk about. We've missed a few weeks, but I think we should jump right into a wild card round recap of the NFL playoffs. Does anybody want to get started on these games? I guess we should talk about these Saturday games first.
That was a game.
Yeah, Saturday games. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll start it off. Ravens beats division rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 28-14. I mean, that's just Ravens football, baby. Run it down your throat, 250 plus on the ground. The Steelers, this is the worst they looked all season, I think. It's probably at literally the worst time.
They almost look like they gave up.
Yeah, they look defeated. I mean, the Ravens scored a 9-minute drive, 13 plays, 13 rushes, 90-yard drive. When you're out there, you're huffing and puffing. Cam Hayward was about to freaking pass out. It was a nice win for the Ravens. Obviously, we needed it. We need the momentum going into Buffalo. So this is a really good start to the playoffs. So I hope they keep it up.
And they look really good. I can't believe that they made the Steelers. I just didn't think that any team that Mike Tomlin coached would just look like they kind of gave up. It was the effort just looked like it wasn't there, which is really rare for I'd see that from the Colts, but not from any team that Tomlin's coaching. Yeah, tap out. That's what I'm saying. I'll keep it short about this game. It's gonna hit like crap when they hand the ball to Derrick Henry 6 times against the Bills, because that's what Chinese been at. They did that for so great.
So you really got to hope they don't do that if you're a Ravens fan. Now, as much as I clown on the Ravens all the time, they are fun to watch when they're running around. They're at their best. When Lamar's getting these design runs, he's faster than you. He throws the ball further than most quarterbacks. He's elite back there. This is probably the best quarterback season we've ever seen. And then you have Derrick Henry back there. So if Derrick Henry runs 6 times, get Harbaugh out of there.
Yeah.
There's
A lot of you I understand there's a difference.
now, we can hype up the Ravens all we want, but I think the big issue is the Steelers, and it wasn't just Saturday's game. I'm almost positive they were on a 6-game losing streak.
I think they lost 0.
So you're on a fat losing streak heading into the most important time. They had a chance to win the division. They don't win the division. Everybody's out to get Tomlin now, which we're going to talk about that later probably. And George Pickens says the quote of the year. Are you optimistic about this team? And just says no.
Nah.
How did that? Well, that is the sign of a team that is just falling apart right in front of your eyes. So
A quarterback too.
they're going to have no quarterback. Let's see what Justin Fields. They have their star wide receiver who has no optimism about the team. They have the head coach who hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, or feels like. It's been years, and they shut down the most important time of the year. So I don't think the top should be how good the Ravens are. We know how good they are. It should be how much of a reset the Steelers need to have.
Can they just or because he's up, both up my contract. And they both
Deals. They're paying the quarterback room about $4 million total. Shout out the Broncos for eating the rest of his contract. Yeah. But they're gonna have a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
Obviously, the quarterback's most important position in football. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. AJ, what do you think about the game?
I don't think it's a sexy game, but you just saw it. You were never doubting that they were going to win the game. Not once was I the Steelers might come back. No, yeah. Once you saw that, they were just punched them in the mouth the entire game, and never was a worry. And I think that one drive where you did see him, was it the entire drive that they just ran the ball?
13 plays, 13 runs.
I don't know if I've ever seen a drive look so dominant. And I was even telling some of my buddies and stuff, even going for hits, the Steelers didn't look like Steeler football. I saw guys just kind of waiting for them to come and then just kind of put them down. It ended up. Anyway, and it just wasn't like those hard hitting things that we would see from the Steelers football. You see those old clips back then. Palomalu and guys like that.
just in those 6 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the Steelers-Ravens game, the first time they met this season, when they won on 5 field goals, it was 10 times more physical than they were, obviously, in the playoff game. I mean, I just want to throw a quick shout out to our right tackle, rookie Roger Rosengarten. TJ Watt didn't record a single stat.
No, the entire he was biting on every single. He's getting double teamed. He's getting chipped.
When you're the best defender in football, that's going to happen, right? But you got a rookie going out there, handed the dirt, blocking the best defender in football, and not letting up a single stat. That's shout out to him.
By the way, it must be a hardball thing to do because I do believe this is random, but I do believe last year Michigan ran the ball 37 straight times.
Gotta let Rod do.
At some point, you run the ball, you play good defense.
I need to get this off my chest before I go. I want to build on what AJ said. The problem is when you're waiting for people to come, you don't get a chance to use that terrible towel. It never gets to come out. You can't do it. You're most famous-able, right? You can't be waiting for people to come. You can't do that. You can't clean up the mess you've made. You know? You didn't do it.
The next game, obviously, AJ's favorite team.
sir.
We have the
Speaking of coming,
we have the Texans. Texans pretty convincingly destroy the favorites, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, and I think not a lot of people put the stock that them getting back Aziz after his 3-game suspension about the hit on Trevor Lawrence. We saw Miko. I think it was on the pick 6 where he's like, "You called the play." And I think that's important because, yes, it's only his first year with the guys, but I think we were seeing that he's a leader. And when you're laughing that, you see losses like, the Thanksgiving game against to the Ravens, or Christmas game, sorry, where they got absolutely destroyed. Like, it was, 31-2, I think it was.
Yeah.
Ugly game.
I'm taking
Ugly game.
keep on showing up.
And then the team just didn't look good at all going in the playoffs. But, you get everybody. You're still lacking those receiver weapons, but you get everybody. You get the defensive side of the ball go around. This team can look scary. So it's Stingley.
Stingley's good. So the big talk of the weekend for the Texans was, oh my God, Stingley might be the best cornerback in the league. But what doesn't get noticed is they were pressuring all game long. I think Will Anderson had 2 sacks or maybe a sack and a half. Yeah. You have Christian Harris who doesn't even get a sack. He's able to take off some of the pressure on Will Anderson. You get Aziz back. The defense is firing on all cylinders. They're one of the few teams in playoffs who seem like they're getting stronger. Their team's getting healthier. They're getting guys back. Whereas normally you see, especially unfortunately like the Lions, you lose guys.
Yeah.
So Texans have put themselves into a great position to lose the few. Hopefully shock the world, but yes, unfortunately they do play the Chiefs next round.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's maybe you got to give credit to the defense when it comes to any quarterback throwing 4 picks. I would have never dreamed of Justin Herbert throwing 4 interceptions in a game.
Crazy.
But I mean, you obviously can't win games. It's just the Chargers thing, I guess, where they kind of crumble because last year they crumbled against the Jaguars. Obviously, they had that massive lead and crumbled, and then they were the favorite going into this game, and they kind of almost got reversed because Trevor Lawrence did 4 picks in the first half.
Yeah,
but they still somehow lost that game, and then the next year your quarterback throws 4 picks and you also lose that game. I don't know where the Chargers go for here. They definitely need a few more weapons. Lad McConkey was very good, man. He was so good.
196 yards, 198 of the yards. Or of the 242, McConkey had 1 IVA.
That's crazy. I mean, he's very good. He was there. You need other people, obviously. Yeah. I don't think they need another running back. I think huge if is JK staying healthy.
I can see it. But that's him a saver than be.
Yeah. But then he just needs some more weapons for Herbert. I mean, that's always kind of been the Chargers thing, I guess, is not very many weapons for the quarterbacks. But you need something. And you do need a strong, powerful running back and a good line because Harbaugh football is to just run the ball like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on the Chargers, obviously, I think that defense needs to improve, obviously. It's young. It's kind of gritty, but obviously didn't get it done in the playoffs. I'm looking at it. When you have Justin Herbert supposed to be a top 10 quarterback in the biggest game of the season, obviously, going out there throwing 4 picks kind of got stunned by CJ Stroud a little bit in the Texans. So obviously you like to see them win in the playoffs, but to me, it's like people will disrespect, and I'm the first one. They'll disrespect Dak, right?
Yeah.
For, lack of playoff success and stuff, right? Not a top 10 quarterback. But you look at Justin Herbert, and it's almost the same, if not almost identical. So,
He's not like Cowboys, though. Also has 2 playoff wins. Well, he might have 4 losses.
that's what I think. But yeah, I mean, the Texans look good too, man. I mean, I think and this isn't like a low key opinion or anything, but I think one of the best offseason signing was Joe Mixon. Yeah, signing Joe Mixon, or we're trading for him, right?
Trade essentially.
The addition of Joe Mixon elevated the Texans this year to something that wasn't really efficient last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, they found something turn the rock last year.
Well, they had Dameon Pierce seeing the favorite buttons one. Respect my guy. Same thing. They take Johnson.
He's our forgeters. Regular not get your out here.
But let's jump into the Sunday games now, right?
Yeah.
So, potential Super Bowl favorites, maybe the cooking favorites. Josh Allen and the Bills go against the Denver Broncos. Brian, what's your take on the Bills' victory?
Man, I'll tell you what, the Broncos ran that defense. I mean, Bo Nix had a good season, but that Broncos defense was so good all year. And Patrick Surtain didn't have a very good game. Really nobody on that defense had a really good game. I think a very low-key thing for the Bills, at least, is obviously their defense wasn't amazing, and then Milano came back. And he's been very good. He was very good last week. And he was very good the week before that. I think they played Jets, I think, or something like that. So the Bills defense they've gotten a little healthier. Getting a premium linebacker, I'd say, back with Milano. And Josh Allen. I mean, it's going to be a coin flip. I don't think it's coin flip anymore. I think Lamar is very heavily favored. I wouldn't be a fan of they just give the MVP to whoever wins this next game, because realistically, it's most about postseason success, I guess.
They say it doesn't party you're in. Yeah.
No, well, they've already voted. The AP's already voted. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, just fuck the vote. Whoever wins this game, give the person the MVP. Now, the Ravens did kick the shit out of the Bills in the regular season, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's very hard to beat a team twice in the NFL. I don't know if that means it's going to be closer.
The Ravens were home, the Skinner going.
But I mean, like, you'd say, like, one of the advantages of playing in Buffalo is the weather, but it gets very cold in Baltimore too, so it's not crazy. I don't know. The Bills looked very good this last game, and hopefully they can have it continue, because they're going to need everything they have against the Ravens.
Yeah, I think it's cool watching that game because it looks like the Broncos have their guy at quarterback. I do like watching Bo Nix a lot, but just so clearly outmatched by the Bills. They had no business being in the same field with the Bills. Like, it doesn't matter which way you look at it. They kind of took a page out of the Ravens book, because James Cook went out there and easily went over 100 yards. They just gave him the ball. So, and then when they need it, Josh Allen can go scramble for 4 or 5 yards. He can go toss the ball to somebody wide open. So that game probably should be a really fun game, seeing the Ravens go into Buffalo to see that second matchup, because those are two teams that match up really well against each other, in my opinion.
Off top. Is James Cook better than Dalvin Cook?
I'm going to go with no.
Not yet.
I'm going to go with no.
Too early.
Dalvin Cook was, people forget, down because of his the hardest fall off ever.
Yeah.
Well, Yearly might rival that.
Oh, yeah. He was so good. Dalvin Cook was a top 5 running back for like 4 years in a row.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, what about A-list?
Wow.
Let's not talk about any Lacey right now. It's playoff time.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great win. I think this is when we see the Bills at their best, when Josh Allen isn't turning over the ball, and they're able to run it, they're able to pass it, and then if all else fails, Josh Allen's running. Yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but I would not want to hit Josh Allen coming at the field.
It is a very low.
So I think when we see all facets of the game coming together for them, and even the defense just playing solid, I wouldn't even say they're playing like spectacular or anything like that, but solid. Kind of that bend don't break. This is the recipe we get. So I think it's a dominant win for them, and I'm excited I think this would be the best game of the weekend.
Definitely.
Ravens Bills. For me, it's my most anticipated, even with my Texans being in it. I would say this is the game to watch.
100%.
Yeah, just to really quick, just to touch on it. Obviously, to me, it's not unexpected, right? I think we all expected the Bills to go out there and, secure the victory. I personally, it was a good win, but and some would say this about the Ravens over the Steelers too. I just don't think the Broncos, it was not much of a good matchup, right? I'd like to see that dominant performance against.
Great. Yeah, great. We would love this for the Ravens. This it.
But yeah, like again, obviously a dominant win, but nothing I'm gonna drool over.
Yeah.
But to Josh Allen's point, or to the point, Josh Allen, whatever you need, the 3-4 yards, 3rd and 3, 4th and 2.
So good at it.
It's everyone knows the design run.
Good luck trying to stop it. Doesn't even have to be a QB and you get another step 2 or 3 yards to the right, straight
the hole. It's gonna be so fun to watch because they're two elite runners.
Yeah.
Next week, elite, but they go about it so differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 yards is a guarantee for Lamar too, because Lamar is just gonna shake the shit,
and then that circus touchdown to Justice Hill was ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. But Lamar's gonna shake the shit out of you, and your knees are gonna be over there, and you're gonna tear an ACL trying to tackle him. Then Josh Allen's just gonna put his head down and run right over you because you and him weigh the same. And he's going at 20 miles.
The same if you're like a linebacker and maybe less 260. Oh, GCL and you. DB is dying. He's dying.
Go for the angle.
If you leaving you, I mean that. So it's gonna be fun because they can both run like crazy. I mean, obviously Lamar's faster. It's so shifty, and Josh Allen's fast.
Josh Allen, I don't know what it is about Josh Allen. He's sneaky athletic. You know what I mean? That's sneaky good. Sneaky ass.
Sneaky guy. First one in the building, last one out. Real gym rat. It's a real gym rat. Lamar's the flashy guy.
I'm the flashy.
Real gym rat. Shout out to the league.
He's got that pizzazz.
Yeah, he does. All right, which he's going with Sunday.
Yeah, let's Sunday. The middle game on Sunday. The Packers and the Eagles. Eagles win 22-10. I want to just get into this super quickly, but Jordan Love just looked terrible.
Yeah, Jordan Love's like by far
3 picks. If you want to follow the Packers, the gunslinger role, that's not going to win you a lot of playoff games, especially when you're playing a good defense with like the Eagles have. I think they were talking about Joe Mixon earlier with a good addition. I think they have the best offseason addition in Josh Jacobs, and I'm saying that over the Ravens adding Derrick Henry.
What about Saquon? Eagles over Saquon.
3.
Top of 3.
Oh,
yeah. But I mean, for the team and what he obviously he's meant to them, he looked really good. But Jordan Love just isn't cutting it.
I mean, it's Toyota.
Toyota Fun ended the week before the game. So there you go. So that's just a surprise.
Jordan Love's going to have games like that, and then maybe next year Jordan Love goes out there and throws 4 touchdowns and the main reason they win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of how Jordan Love is. I mean, they saw it with Favre. Favre was very similar to something like that. They kind of skipped it with Rodgers. Rodgers didn't really turn the ball over as much.
Yeah.
But there's something about the Packers having good team. Now, the Packers might be a year or 2 away, something like that, because they are so young.
Yeah, but that's always been like what they
see. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, it was the issue with Rodgers, but that's one thing. Obviously, terrible game. But here's who he's throwing to. Jaden Reed had 4 targets. Then his second leading receiver is Josh Jacobs, and then Dontavian Wicks and Tucker Kraft, Emmanuel Wilson, Bo Melton, Romeo Hiles hurt. And those guys are in any other team, they're like forgotten. But we see Romeo Doubs. We're like, he's a great wide receiver. Is he a great wide receiver, or is he just the best guy of the Packers?
And he also got a concession.
So I think they can still stick with Jordan Love. Obviously, terrible performance, but he had that terrible performance against the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack. Obviously, you don't want it, but this is also a guy who, I know it was the Cowboys, put up 45 points with the Cowboys last year in the playoffs. I'm just thinking on the road, and the Cowboys were 8-0 at home at that point. So he's shown that he can do it. He just came up against a juggernaut of defense.
There's 2 people I don't think I'd wish to be, and if I were to pick to be 2 people in the NFL, these people have to be at the bottom of the list, and that's Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Because you just won a playoff game, you were unbelievable in the regular season, and if they lose this next week, none of that matters, and they're going to want Jalen Hurts out, and they might fire. They want the organization might not fire Sirianni, but the Philadelphia Eagles fan base will definitely want Sirianni out. That's just kind of how they are. I mean, they were displeased with the way this last game went because Jalen Hurts wasn't great. So I'm coming off a concussion, not throwing a ball for 6 years.
He hadn't played in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, he did look great, but
Exactly. Yeah. But like, I wouldn't want to be one of those Super Bowl. You're never going to win. It's just never enough unless you win a Super Bowl, which I guess is kind of what you want, but also like there's got to be some leeway. Nick Sirianni has the best, I think I might sound dumb with this, so I'm going to say top 5, but he has a top 5 winning percentage since he's become a head coach. I want to say it's the best, but it might not be.
I think Matt LaFleur might be number 1.
He could be.
I mean, we're
talking about an organization that had Andy Reid.
yeah, it's true. That's fair. And Doug has a statue. He
Well, guys that are available.
And they also want a Super Bowl with Big Dick Nick. A lot of people. I saw a tweet that said that they wanted McCabe instead of Hurts. That's terrible.
You're never gonna please Philadelphia fans, just like you're never gonna please Giants fans, never gonna please Yankees fans. It's just one of the organizations. Do you have any quick thoughts on the game?
I mean, the Packers were my favorite to win the NL. Sorry, we were talking baseball. The NFC Championship. So this was a shell of the team that I thought I was going to see in the playoffs. So there's not really much to it. Like Cody said, great defense. I think if anything, you're hoping that Jalen plays better in this next game. Well, you play off, you stack the bottom stopper. You never know what you're going to get. But, I think if anything, you're hoping for Jaren because, the defense has been great. Saquon's going to Saquon. As long as you can get the ball to Devontae and AJ, I think we'll see a good turnout from them.
I think AJ might be too busy reading books.
But I love bounce albums. He's getting down. Okay. Good luck.
Let's get it to Mosian. Sunday Night Football, the last game on Sunday. We have the Washington Commanders, led by rookie Jaden Daniels, beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off of a strike, 23-20. Cody?
This was the only enjoyable game, unless you're a Ravens or Texans fan, right? Because it's the only game that came down to the wire. Now, close game all around. I was rooting for Baker. A, because I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't want Commanders to win. And B, Baker is one of the most likable guys in the NFL. And they lose this game because of a botched reverse. Now, I'm not that big of a football guy when it comes to play-wise. I can't really tell if it was supposed to be reverse and he messed up, or if it was supposed to be a play action and he messed up. But you make that mistake inside your own 20, and a close game in the last quarter, you're done. You're done. They have the chance to go down and win it, and then Jaden Daniels has and probably the second best drive of the weekend, right? So you had the Ravens 13 rushes. Jaden Daniels gets the ball back in a tie game over 4 minutes and uses every single second of that clock. There's no chance for Buccaneers to come back. Game over. So heartbroken. Could really wanted Baker to win. Dan Quinn might be a good coach. And that breaks my heart as a Cowboys fan also. A lot of heartbreak in this game for
I'll tell Falcons fans that.
Well, that.
I don't know, like his redemption arc right now.
It might be. In that game, I mean, obviously the meme came out where, the dude can't do whatever you want if you keep burying kicks. I don't, but Jaden Daniels, I think this kind of, I know they already voted and all that, but this just kind of cemented any backup or backlash of him winning.
Yeah.
The rookie of the year. You were talking about the one turnover, the Bucs turning over 2 or 3 times. They just fumbled in the second half.
Still fumble, right?
I know. In the second half, I think 2, both of them were in the second half.
Yeah.
You want to talk about crumbling? The Steelers crumbled with no effort. You'd argue the Bucs kind of crumbled too, turning 2 bad turnovers. Yeah. And you can't win. It's the NFL. Every game's tight. You could say if you're playing a lackluster team in the regular season, maybe you can still get away with that.
Yeah.
Postseason, you can't. This is obviously why the better teams win the postseason. Mm-hmm. The turnovers reared its head, and that ultimately cost them.
Kid Dennis is so good. So Shea Daniels, so good. 260 pass yard, 2 passing touchdowns. Led the team in rushing. That is a superstar of that team.
They have no sloppy running back either. Their running backs aren't bad.
Yeah, well, Jaden Daniels is the best. He's the Neil DeMar. I feel like there's not much we should add on to this.
Yeah, no. It's definitely the most competitive, really good, really fun game to watch for neutrals. Let's get into pretty nice, almost say a shock. Monday night, the Rams in Arizona due to the LA fires But the Rams go on to beat the Minnesota Vikings, 14-win Minnesota Vikings. Believe 27-9.
Tell you what, I'm going to add to my list. I hate to be Sam Darnold right now.
Yeah.
Because those 2 last games, I think dropped his value by quite a lot. I think it went from a guy that was going to probably get, and he still probably will end up getting it, but almost guaranteed Baker contract where it was like 4 years, top end money, to a guy where he might have to sign another prove it deal with probably not the Vikings, which means you get no Addison, you get no Jefferson, you get no TJ, AJ, and you get no KLC. So I wouldn't want to be Sam Darnold. It was a shock that the Vikings defense got torn apart like that. I understand it's Matthew Stafford, and they got all their weapons and they're healthy.
Yeah.
And those 2 dudes, I believe they got from Florida State on the edge.
I think once they burst edge. They're both on the edge.
Yeah, they're both on the edge. Those dudes are
both
the defensive rookie.
and those two super good.
Yeah, I have had myself on the back about first. That's all I'll say.
Those dudes were parts good. And they were good last night. And I'll tell you what, the Rams. I mean, I understand they're going to play Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
And Philadelphia has an elite defense. But, so did the Vikings. So I don't know what this next game is going to look like, but the Rams were very impressive. Healthy, they are very impressive. Puka Nakul, so good. Yeah, so good. It was a shock, but like when you look at the Rams roster and like the names that they have and the season that their defensive ends had, even though they were rookies, you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't such a shock. But their Vikings were so good all year that.
What's even scarier? Puka only had like 46 yards, and Cooper Kupp had 1 catch. Yeah, and they won by that much.
Yeah. And they have is he hurt? That hurt. Yeah, he caught it.
The biggest takeaway for me in this game is Sean McVay's really good as a head coach. He is a head coach. Freaking news. Yeah, so that's gonna be a fun game. The biggest blowout I want us. The biggest takeaway from the Vikings is they were a 14-win team, and they lost to only the Lions and the Rams, I think, this year. Both. I think they had four losses, like 2 losses to the Lions, 2 losses to the Rams. Interesting trivia. They're still a legit 14-win team. They were dominated the whole year. They just ran into 2 teams that outcoached them. They're just better.
You're only giving easy to 2 coaches that are better than KLC?
It was probably more.
Oh, Andy Reid too, but I'm saying
exactly.
Yeah, no, I just love how good the defense looked. They were blitzing the crap out of Darnold.
Yeah.
And, they might bag on Darnold and all that, but it wasn't like he had a lot of time anyway.
No.
It was whether it was a guy coming from the secondary to blitz, the edges beating the freaking tackles. I mean, just watching the game, you saw how hungry the Rams were. And I think it showed in their defense the most. So,
do you want to guess how many times Sam Darnold got sacked?
It was 8 or 9.
9 times.
A couple were him, for sure. A couple were him. And I feel like a little bit on the play calling too. I felt like they were running a lot of deep routes where, you're getting beat in your O-line. You got to get rid of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means let's run a little bit of a shorter route, I feel like, in my head. Only because you see guys running posts, corners. The ball's not going to get there at time. He's not going to have enough time in the pocket. And clearly all game he didn't. So I feel like that's a little bit of the play calling too, but all in all, it was a little bit of a mess from the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, kind of just to piggyback off of what you said, obviously trying to take my USC bias off, my USC bias hat off. But yeah, obviously Sam Darnold wasn't what he looked like during the regular season. Could it be the lights were too bright? Could it be, definitely showed in the stats that just the pressure was too much for him as far as the defense pressuring him. Sacked 9 times, it's hard to win games when your quarterback's getting sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of those probably on him, holding the ball too long, gotta get rid of the football. But if you have your offensive line getting beat like that, it's tough to get drives going. Taking sacks, drive killers. And what Cody said, I just think KOC just got outcoached.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I feel like for some reason, just because they haven't had too much success recently in the last couple of years, A lot of people forgot that Sean McVay was a really good coach.
Yeah.
So he's been doing this a long time now, even though he's still like 30.
It always makes me laugh. He's like top 3 youngest coaches. And I'm like, we've been watching him for 10 years at that. How is he still young?
I mean, he showed that he's still one of the obviously elite level coaches. That offense is crazy. You're doing it with, old man Stafford over there.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. And when your top 2 wide receivers are only getting a total of 5-6 captures a game, and you're still beating a 14-win team by 20 points. Yeah, you got to shout out the defense and shout out, play calling. So that does it for our, wild card first initial round of playoffs. Now let's get into maybe some predictions for the next rounds. Let's see.
4 games.
4 games left. First one on the 18th, 1:30 p.m. We have the Chiefs. Number 1 seed takes on the Texans at home. Let's save you for last, Cody.
Unfortunately for co-host here, I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's just so hard not to take the Chiefs. It was almost impossible to not take Chiefs. You got Andy Reid. You got a team that's just dominating in these one-score games. And in playoffs, that is so important to dominate these one-score games. So for me, to keep it nice and short, I think the Chiefs got this. These are teams that have very similar points for and points against. So maybe you see like a 20-18, 20-17 type game.
Right.
I'm going to take the Chiefs 2. I know it wasn't the same regime, but they're going to have to get over that mental hurdle that started the Chiefs dynasty with the comeback. What was it, 19 or 21 or something like that? I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'll keep it short, just like Cody. I just can't bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Can't. Not recently. It's like betting against Tom Brady.
And we'll go 3 for 3, unfortunately. As a Ravens fan, obviously, I don't want to select the Chiefs for a seed, but it's hard to beat a 15-win team in general. It's hard to beat the Chiefs when they're 15 wins, and it's hard to beat the Chiefs who won 15 games and they're at home. So that's just a bowl of bad soup.
Go 4 for 4. You know they're going to win.
It's crazy that you said that really started their dynasty, and I really think it did.
It did. That was the first year they won.
Deshaun Watson would have been immortal going into that playoff series, or into the AFC Championship for the next year. But yeah, well, maybe that started the downs. From downhill. He was on it to hum around.
Yeah, he needed to fill the hole somehow.
I think about that game probably multiple times a year. Oh, that might be likely. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. As much as it pains me, as much as I would love the way the defense is led, I still am not too in love with how the Texans look offensively. Mixon looks a little. He looked a lot better than what he had been the previous weeks. Nico is finally looking a little more healthier, but beyond that, CJ is still not doing great. Obviously the numbers might suggest otherwise, but if you really watch the game in that first, 18 minutes, or no, 30 minutes, 27 minutes of the game against the Chargers, it wasn't pretty. The Texans were getting beat up. They had a fumble and a scramble, and he just hucks it down to Xavier Hutchinson. That really started the offense. If that play doesn't happen, I don't know if the Texans advance. So I just don't love with what I'm seeing from the offensive side. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think it'll be a close game, but the Chiefs.
I'm going to say one thing before we move on to the next game. Chiefs are favored by 8.5, but the total score is only 41 for this game.
I take Houston to cover.
I mean, you got 2 really good defense.
Yeah, really expecting 24-60.
You look at the defense who had 3 or 4 takeaways, or no, 4 or 5 takeaways against the Chargers, and then obviously Chiefs defense has just been top 5 all season.
Yeah.
It's gonna be close. Like Cody said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 21-14 game, 21-17.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I was such a illusion for you cover.
I just get nervous with how, like I said, the offense. I don't know if I see them put up more than 10 points, that's a win.
Yeah. I see. I mean, in order for them to win, right, they can't start off the first half slow, right? You got to beat the Chiefs. You got to make sure
come out firing,
score some points. No one's saying you have to score a touchdown every drive, but let's get points on the field or on the board, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to keep Mahomes off. You got to make sure you give him at least 1 or 2 drives where they punt.
Because you know he's not throwing 4 picks. That's not out.
This is guy, for some reason, he wasn't obviously amazing all year. This is guy, playoff, right, likes Travis Kelce going for up 150 and 2 tutties.
Texas team struggle against tight ends, so
We'll see.
we'll see.
Saturday night game, the Detroit Lions host the Washington Commanders. Let's see. I'll start it off. Give me the Lions. I think it's going to be close, a lot closer than people think, though. And talk about shootout. I see this 33-30, 33-27. It's going to put up 50-plus points for sure combined. I think the Lions really needed that bye just to get healthy.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully that doesn't lead to a slow offensive start. Obviously, you're playing every week. You got that momentum. You got the aggressiveness going. But we'll see if they could get on to the start. I think they can. When you're coached by Dan Campbell, it's hard to not go out there fired up. Right. And this is the season that a lot of, obviously, Detroit fans, but a lot of, neutral NFL fans are hoping for. Let's see if the Lions can actually pull it out.
I think the one weakness the Lions have, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm pretty sure running quarterbacks do very well against the Lions, if I remember correctly. That's the Lions defense's one weakness, is if quarterback can move, they're going to struggle. Now what? They lost 2 games? 2 games?
They lost 2 games.
They lost 2 games, so they didn't really struggle against anybody.
Yeah.
But Lions are hurt. I could definitely see it being a shootout. Aaron Glenn looked really good calling the plays against the Vikings. Maybe he kind of tipped the hand on how to deal with the Vikings, even though the Rams did beat the Vikings before. I actually didn't know the Rams beat the Vikings because I was going to say that I think the Rams probably watched that tape and are like, oh, if we get a lot of pressure on Darnold.
It did look very similar to what the Lions did.
I think that when you have Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, and Ben Johnson, this is definitely that trio's last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are probably going to get head coaching jobs, if not just Ben Johnson. I think the Lions are going to win this game.
Is Aiden Hutchinson playing? I know it's been rumored.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I know it's been rumored that he's coming back. And that'd be pretty,
You get it back. That'd be
pretty incredible. Because they did get recently Anzalone back.
Yeah.
He's been so good.
As does the Texans. See any team that gets the middle linebacker back, huge.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I think it's blowout. Oh, I think it's a blowout. I think it's a blowout. I think Lions blow them out. I think their offense is way too good. And you got, Jaden Daniels, incredible quarterback. Daniels can keep up. No, I don't. I don't think he can keep up. I think Dan Quinn's a defensive-minded coach who's going to get blown out of the water. Cliff fans don't care about Cliff. Cliff throws little dump offs. Don't care about Cliff. So I think the Lions blow them out. You could still get to 50. You have like 40 to 15, right? That's basically 5 points. So I don't think it's that bad, but I do think they win by more than. I think it's 2 scores. 2-score victory. What's the spread? 2-score victory. 9.5.
Do you think the Lions cover even at 9.5?
I would take the Lions to cover. Wow.
Alternate spread 14?
I wouldn't do that. It's a lot of points, but I could take 9.5.
Instead of 3 or 15, I don't know. Sound of field goals.
And just to touch up on what Brian said earlier, the Lions lost 2 games in the regular season. First loss is to the Buccaneers, where Baker Mayfield was the leading rusher and scored a touchdown. And the second loss was to the Bills, and Josh Allen had 69 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So if Jaden Daniels can get it going with WB, we'll see that no ball.
Alex Anzalone is back.
Well, Alex Anzalone was 5, so Jaden Daniels not going anywhere. Alex Anzalone could fly. Shit.
From this room.
Next.
Oh, you want to talk about it? Sorry. And it would be the same thing you were saying. Yeah, honestly. I just think go like as well. Yeah, I forgot. The Commanders' defense did not look great last week. And we saw Marshawn Lattimore get cooked. Yeah. Mike Evans.
It's Mike Evans.
But Evans had his mask for off. Okay, but before that, Lattimore didn't have to win.
Well, I don't know if he had clamps or if Evans was never playing more than one half.
I'll be both. This could have been about. But yeah, no, I don't see this being a close game. No, I think it's gonna be a blowout personally.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next we move to Sunday for the NFC Divisional Playoff game. We have at 12 o'clock the Eagles hosting the Rams. Rams coming off of obviously a huge win, good for the momentum. Eagles coming off of a pretty casual win. Brian, who do you got?
Oh, my God. You look so nervous. I'm nervous because I'm going to get clowned because I'm going to take the risky pick and I'm going to take the Rams.
Wow, it's a bad pick. No,
What's your favorite?
No, really. I mean, It's the big dogs, right? It's like spoilers in the how, but I could see the problem in my head is I can easily see the Rams getting blown out. Yeah, maybe this is just a pick to be different. I don't know, but the Rams look really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm stuck in the fact that Brian Flores' defense was elite all year. And I mean, I know there was a defensive touchdown in the game, right?
For the Rams, yeah, it was a sack.
So I understand that, but they still looked really good offensively, the Rams did. And they're not going to not look good offensively. That's just kind of how Sean McVay and the Rams roll. It's all dependent on that defense. And there's question marks for a quarterback in this game. Maybe it's from his own fan base, and it's not 80-year-old Matthew Stafford. Jalen Hurts. And it's just going to come down to if the Rams defense can show up and stop Barkley, which is almost impossible, the same way that they stopped Jones. Yeah. I don't see Jalen Hurts winning that game for the Eagles, in my opinion. And I think the Rams are no matter what going to put up points. That's just how the Rams are. I'm taking the Rams.
It is hard to go against, McVay and playoff Stafford. Stafford actually was on a super cold streak heading into these playoffs. He was not doing well. He was not throwing for 200 yards. He was struggling. And yeah, Brian Flores, great defensive coach. The Eagles are a better defense. I don't think they can win. If Hurts is still rusty, Saquon's going to rush for 120 yards anyway, minimum. I'm going to take the Eagles here. I just think they're a better team. They're a better team over left my arm. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good test to see how good that D-line does against the Eagles. I mean, insane O-line.
Top 5 O-line.
I think this is just going to be a battle of the trenches. Whoever can win those interior battles, I think is going to win, because I think we've seen both secondaries actually look pretty good.
Yeah.
So Jalen Carter. I think I'm going to take the Eagles. I know obviously there's favorites, but I think this would be a close game. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, not going to go the Rams, but definitely going to go the Eagles here. But kind of to bounce off of what Cody said for the Lions and Commanders game, I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't see the Rams competing. It might be close in the beginning, but I think the Eagles are going to run
With the Rams and put up points.
not enough to. I think the Eagles win by 14.
I don't. The only reason why I didn't say blowout is because I don't. Eagles are going to put us in.
Just me, but when you said blowout, I was thinking like 35-14.
Well, yeah, I can see it. I don't think when you have a sport, baby, and when that Stafford is only completing like 5-6 balls to the top 2 targets against, a pretty obviously a good DC, but last game, this night and day compared to the regular season for the Vikings defense. I think you go into Philadelphia against that defense. I think statistically the best defense.
I can really struggle. It needs to be bad.
And then not only that, but you also can't get any pressure on Jalen Hurts. I'm tired of Jalen Hurts' disrespect. I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I'm not putting the disrespect.
I think
I just said he was rusty last week. I'm not putting that.
It's all these fan base.
I just think of a concussion.
Yeah.
Was rusty last week, but I think this is just another week to get better. I think he can improve. Yeah, like you said earlier too, I think Saquon just has a massive game.
It feels like he's gonna get. You got to beat him. He's gonna get 120 yards minimum.
He did rip up for 300 against the Rams the last time.
So he played the season beat like 35-14.
They played this. I mean, what's scoring it?
Dog, that was the game that Saquon lived for 300 yards.
What's for you?
I think they won by 3 scores.
For Puka and Cooper Coffee?
That I don't think.
Puka's probably.
I don't think Puka is healthy.
The
I'm so kidding.
Eagles beat the Rams
37-20.
37 to 17 points.
Pretty sure.
I'm just saying.
I
I just don't see the. I said overall. Sorry,
LA's in wait.
I don't see the Rams putting up a lot of points in this game. I can see 10, 17 points.
I know where I'm at. I just don't see them being able to do anything against the Eagles. All right, I'll take the Rams. Fine.
Okay, let's go to the last game of the weekend. We have the Baltimore Ravens going to the Buffalo Bills.
Do I have to pick this game?
Cody, you can start.
I can start. This game, it feels like a coin flip. I feel like both these teams are kind of firing on all cylinders. So do I want to take the home team? That's the big issue. It's in playoffs. You want to take that home team. So because Buffalo's at home, I am going to take them. I think Josh Allen's kind of on his arc. I think he's putting the team on his back. I like the way they're playing. Man, it just feels like a coin flip. So I'm taking the Bills strictly because they're the home team. That is all my reasoning.
This is a +1, -1 spread, right? I think.
-1. Ravens are favorite.
Wow, I'm taking the dogs. I'll take their monkey line.
Is it? Oh, right. I mean, okay. Yeah. I said it all year, so I guess I got to continue it.
Yes, sir.
Josh Allen's playing football. I'm taking the Bills.
That's right.
This pains me, honestly, but the only thing I can latch on to about this game is that quite literally all year the Ravens secondary has not been great.
Yeah.
Josh Allen can expose that. And you said that the Bills play complete football when Josh Allen hasn't been turning over the ball. Well, he hasn't been turning over the ball all year. So this looks like a consistent thing. I wouldn't want to be Lamar or Josh Allen in this game because whoever loses is just tagged as the quarterback that can't do it.
Yeah.
Really good, but can't do it.
Yeah. And there's the Chiefs next week.
Is just
It's going to happen again.
that they're just if Josh Allen loses, if he wins this game and then loses to the Chiefs, he's just Peyton Manning to Tom Brady. That's kind of what it seems like with the Colts and the Patriots back in the day. But I know. But I'm going to take the Bills. This has got Bass kicking a game-ending field goal written all over it.
When you put it that way, I don't know if I like. Both these kickers haven't been that good this long. Kickers.
But to be fair, I can also see Hero Roman work like just 63. No. I'm saying like Justin Tucker, shit all year, hero kick, 63 yards to win the game. I could definitely see that too.
I've missed a kid from like the last 7 weeks.
Red will shoot at this table and not with his hands.
No, there'd be a lot of coming. But you know I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with what I've said all year, so I don't look dumb. I'm gonna take and the Bills.
Yeah. I'm going to say what I said all year and more. I will take Baltimore Ravens to win this game. Obviously, prior to or compared to the first game, the Ravens won 35-10. It is away, which obviously is a huge factor. It's going to be 16 degrees. Again, not too much of a factor for the Ravens, used to playing in the cold. My biggest thing is, can we give Derrick Henry the room, right? And you want to talk about the first, or in the middle of the year, we had 3-4 weeks where it seems like Derrick Henry just didn't want to get the ball, or we weren't giving the ball to Derrick Henry. You look at the last 4 weeks, Derrick Henry has carried the ball at least 20 times.
Perfect.
And they won the game by at least 14 points.
I do have a question for you, though, as a Ravens fan. How many times was it Gus last year? I understand there's a huge difference between Gus Edwards and Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did Gus get the ball the game before they lost in the playoffs last year?
I couldn't tell you that.
Because I'm curious, and if they gave him the ball a shit ton, and then it just well, at the end of this, like I said, there's a big difference between the two.
Henry just said,
Derrick Henry, 2 yards.
Love hearing Cody saying that.
Derrick Henry, 4 weeks ago, carried the ball 24 times. 3 weeks ago, carried the ball 27 times. That's 2 weeks ago, carried the ball 20 times, and then last week carried the ball 26 times for over 200 yards. Right?
37. If he's getting 20, that's good.
I mean,
But you got to imagine if he's getting 20, Lamar's getting 8 to 10. So there's 30 rushes.
Yeah.
for me, if we can sustain the drives, if Lamar can limit the turnovers, which he's done all season, knock on wood, and we're gonna get Zay Flowers back hopefully too. If that's just another addition, even though last week it's kind of really didn't look like we needed though.
Numb's Babe been so much better.
I know you're the big base guy. He's starting to win me over because I've always been
He's giving a touchdown every week. So
he is due for a touchdown a week. But I think this is, like you were touching on earlier, Ryan, I think this is a career game for both quarterbacks.
It is.
I would argue that it is more important for Lamar because, and this is not just a Ravens fan saying it, I think we all know that Lamar gets the most hate compared to just 3 MVPs, no Super. Well, 2, we're not counting 3.
It's like minus 5,000 to win Super Bowl. There's that you're like,
oh, it was the favorite.
oh, really? I thought Lamar jumped him.
It'll probably be Lamar.
I think
I think it should be. Oh, I said it should be.
I said it should. It should. So check the tape.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the most important game of the season, obviously. There's no duh.
But yeah, I think the Ravens win. And I, like you said, I was even thinking it before you said it. This just has Justin Tucker redemption arc, game winner like the old days.
That's also endless. So
I don't think either team scores more than 20 points though. I think it's going to be a defensive principle masterclass. I think Ravens win 17-14. It's also got Justin Tucker capping off a shit year,
going into like early retirement. Duncan, that's 45 kick shot, 40-yarder. So we're like not even to tie the game. They make it, they win, they miss, they would type situation. I mean, one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
we'll see. That's going to be the most.
It's going to be unbelievable. I can't even draw so much. Watch like the Ravens or the Bills blow them out by like 30 points, like 40-10 up. But you see it. But that what makes it interesting is because you could see either team also doing that.
Yeah, they both spiral.
We'll see.
Man, my heart tells me I want to go with the Bills.
Haley Steinfeld on.
Yeah, it's probably very
Up in the suite.
but I feel like this is a Ravens win. Yeah. I just see obviously the weather is gonna play a huge part. But I think as long as you can get Derek the ball, I just don't see them stopping him. Yeah. So for me, I think as long as you get him the ball, they're gonna win the game. So for me, I'm gonna take the Ravens at a tie one.
By the way, shout out to Patrick Parties.
All pro about it.
I got all pro. That's what kind of
He's over Lipke.
well. I'm just saying. Also, you look up the widest names of all time; they might all be fullbacks.
Yeah.
Is there playoffs? Is that it for playoffs? That's it. Monday. Yeah, because the number one Monday games right. Yeah, that's it. I'm so happy that that's the night game. It deserves to be the night game.
It's not even the night game. It's 3:30.
Yeah, but it's the latest.
It's gonna go. Yeah, it's the later game.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was on a the first game on Saturday, that'd be stupid. Trust me.
Take it from somebody that just came back from the time zone. I fucking hated the Monday night. Yes, because I'd go to sleep.
Yeah.
It'd be like fucking 10:30, 11 now. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
I do think about that all the time when it's starting for us at 5:30, and I'm like, it is like 9 o'clock over there, but it's
it's like I wanted to watch one of the bowl games. I know this is football, so I wanted to watch one of the
Like it started at like 11, huh?
Well, it's still like the Pac-12. I was thinking about the Pac-12 games where USC doesn't kick off until 8. I'm like,
Well, this year against Utah State, we've been kicking off till 8:30, 8:45, like our time. Our time.
I know, and that's what's crazy. It's like imagine they like Ohio State because they're both in Big Ten.
Yeah.
It ends with hours now.
But you know, so I have to say it at 8 o'clock.
No, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're a fan of like Northwestern, or something, like you got to stay up until 11 p.m. to watch your team. And by the way, they're probably gonna get the dog shit kicked. Dude, like a completely unrelated, different sport. I had to stay up until like 10:30 to watch the puck drop for the Avalanche. It was so annoying. It was crazy, dude. And
they come out. They strike their days a lot later out there too.
They started like 8, 9.
Not that that's awesome.
Well, it's like job wise.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
But we're supposed. Everybody was on vacation.
oh, true.
And no, because the market for the stock opens up 6 o'clock our time, 9 their time, I guess. But I mean, dude, and the sun didn't fucking come up until like 8.
I think we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about still football, but we're gonna talk about the college national championship, which getting a lot of buzz because we have 2 very good teams. Notre Dame's getting a lot of buzz going in, especially because of a big win against Penn State. But you have Ohio State, who looks like they're elite on both sides of the ball. So, AJ, would you like to give us your thoughts on that first?
You know, as a Notre Dame hater, I gotta say they're really showing out this year. Just watching that game, you felt like you didn't even get to see the best of them, and they still won. And that's what great teams do. You know, you might not look good, but you know, backs against the wall, and you show out and you win. So I think for me, going into this game, I do have Ohio State winning, and that's just me personally. Just because I love what they're able to do. I mean, you take away their kryptonite against Michigan, and they've been going a juggernaut all year. So I love what Ohio State does because they'll beat you in every facet of the game.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm taking Ohio State this one.
I will take Notre Dame. I did call this matchup a couple weeks ago before the playoff bouquet started. That was that. Nope, I know ball, but
That didn't happen there.
yeah. If I had got to the USC Notre Dame game, I wanted to pick Notre Dame. But after seeing the person big boy say massive. But no, in all seriousness, I think that Notre Dame is just a better team. Ohio State's always been this juggernaut. I think that Marcus Freeman is probably the best coach of college football, and that's why he's potentially getting NFL looks. So I think if they could get Jeremiah Love, running back for Notre Dame, going, and if Riley Leonard could limit the turnovers, he had 2 picks against Penn State last game, then obviously that's a good potion for success. So give me Notre Dame winning by 7.
I just can't not pick Ohio State. One of the things I actually do believe we were talking to Josh before this, where we were talking about who we had, you and me. I think I did have Oregon because I think that I had Oregon winning because Will Howard. I didn't believe Will Howard was going to be very good. He's been very good in this postseason. Jeremiah Smith obviously wasn't good, wasn't good, but he kind of got clamped up last game. I understand Notre Dame's defense is good. Riley Leonard is whatever, but Ohio State's defense is so good.
Yeah.
They're and led by Caleb Downs. I would easily say the best safety in college football. True sophomore. He's Sunday player. He's gone next year. He's going to the league. He'll be top. Top. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good. And they have an entire defense. They have the weapons. They have Will Howard. Looks like he's not going to be the person that's going to lose them the game. I mean, and then when you're even talking all fastest, Caleb Downs returns the punts and kicks for Ohio State too. And he's unbelievable. I'm going to take Ohio State. I think Notre Dame keeps it close strictly because of Jeremiah Love, but their defense is very good. And Freeman's such a good coach. He's very good. I think I probably personally, you said the best, just maybe more recent bias, I put him second only because Kirby Smart. But other than that, he's so good.
So for me, I thought Ohio State was the best team in college football for a little bit. And I don't watch as much college football, but I do know when I watch Ohio State, I know I'm watching at least 10 NFL players, and it feels like at least 10 NFL starters, 5 on each side of the ball. Defense, incredible. Your skill players, incredible. And I thought Penn State was a better team than Notre Dame, but what skewed me, I bet on Notre Dame to win that game. And the reason why I bet on Notre Dame to win that game is because of the press conference that Marcus Freeman had. I have never seen a man more locked in, I cannot stand what's going on this other side. I'm going to win this game. And so it feels like with your coach is like that, your coach is putting at those emotions. Oh my God, you're going to have 80 men following him. So I'm going to take Notre Dame. I think it's going to be a close one, but I think you got a team. Ohio State is going to try to win on skill, whereas Notre Dame is going to all stick together. And they're no slouch. They've got studs on both sides of the ball as well. So because the way Marcus Freeman, I've seen him in press conferences, kind of dumb analysis, but man, I saw him. I saw the way he was reacting to all the questions. I saw the way he was reacting. I'm like, oh my God, this man's not going to lose. And if you have the leader of your team acting that way, all 80 guys are going to buy into that coach.
So people like the Lions so much.
Yeah, it's exactly that's perfect. It's like the Dan Campbell effect. You see the way Dan Campbell acts. Oh my God, everybody on the Lions is going to buy into that. And you've seen it. They have bought in. They're top 3 team in the NFL. So I feel like that's what's happening with Notre Dame right now. You have a coach who is just completely, I'm going to win this. We have the best team. And I think they're going to go out and I think they're going to win it. That's my opinion on that.
Right. Strength. I think that if Ohio State beat Michigan, they would have been like first or second round. I think that loss to Michigan was a kick in the nuts, and they just woke up out of it. They had been a totally different team. They were lights out to start the season, even though they lost to Oregon. That was an unbelievable game. They were lights out to start the season. Kind of coasted, I would say. I mean, they went through a little bit of a difficult time in the schedule. I guess it depends on how good you think like teams like Indiana, and all that were.
Yeah.
But they got to the Michigan game. Ryan Day can't beat Michigan. Looks like he can beat everybody else, not Michigan. And it was a needed kick in the nuts because 2 games they played after that. Holy shit, they're good. So is Notre Dame though. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think that's best 2 split.
I did.
Seriously split.
It is. So 2-2 split. It's like the what else we have split on?
Bills, Bills.
You went Bills. Are you doing Ravens?
No, you went Bills, Bills. So you put Bills on.
I just was their own team.
Oh, that's right. I told you.
You have the list. Want to do a list? Well, we can do the list. I can do one list. So I guess to make this not a full hour, just hour, I think, about an hour of football, I thought we'd talk about a couple lists. MLB Networks been putting out their top 10 for each position. And I care more about these positional lists than I do overall because it's hard to compare starting pitcher to a first baseman.
Yeah.
So when I look at these lists, I love the starting pitcher list. And when it came out today, or maybe yesterday, I personally loved it. I thought it was a great list. Brian's seen it. He says he does not like it. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I know why Brian doesn't like it. I know exactly why. I don't know if you've seen it, AJ. All right, they're big baseball guys. So I think it's going to be best for me to start at 10.
Okay.
Because if I name 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you'd be like, yeah, those guys belong there. We're the real, because those top 5 guys. The top 5 is way the ordered. The shock is the shit. This is just the way MLB Network does their projections. They have that thing called the shredder where it takes in their current year with the most impact, but they also look at their previous 3 years and they use that to project. And I'm sure they're using WAR to rank it, but they're using it to project their WAR for the next year. So it takes in their previous 3 seasons with a larger impact on the most recent one. So the 2024 is the biggest impact. So that's how you still end up with guys. And you'll see a guy on this list who's on this list 100% because of what he's done previously, or not because of what he did last year. So starting at number 10, they have Framber Valdez. Now, Framber Valdez was not previously ranked by them, but they have him coming in at number 10.
I can respect that.
I think Framber Valdez, great starting pitcher, inning eater, lefty. He threw his no-hitter last year. If he got a no-hitter last year. So I think that's a perfect spot.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot because of the injuries. Like injuries that start that you'd obviously have like Ohtani, yes, or Glass now or something like that. Maybe now Ohtani would be higher than 10, but that maybe the top 10.
I think you thought was fun. Yeah. And that's a very interesting thing about starting pitchers is in this day and age, so many pitchers are hurt. Well, there are some starting pitchers who might not be pitching next year who aren't on this list. There's a lot of pitchers who didn't pitch at all last year, like Sandy Alcantara, who's not going to be on this list. Shohei Ohtani, he's not going to be on this list. So everybody who's on this list are on this list. I will say 8 out of these 10 people who are on this list pitched all year last year. Okay. So number 10, Framber Valdez. I think that's a very good ranking. Number 9 is a little bit of a shock until you start looking at his stats.
Mr. Consistent.
So exactly. He's not going to stand out unless you watch Breaking Bad. Right? But he is Mr. Consistent. He's that guy. He's going to go out. It seems like every year for them, he puts out 190 innings now for the last 4 years. Sorry. Okay, I know I hit the court now.
Yeah.
I know 2024, I think, might have been his worst statistical year. But in his worst statistical year, he was still a very above average pitcher. So that's what this list does. It takes into considerations previous here because exactly. So he was ranked number 8 last year. He's now ranked number 9. So about the same. Mr. Consistency.
Yeah. You're going to see him there. Yeah. And by the way, going into next year, he's still going to be.
He's probably going to be, yes, right, about 10. Until he retires, he's going to be the right. Now, that's how he is. Number 8 is interesting. Number 8 is our first person that did not pitch the whole year.
So, yeah, I'm very biased when it comes to playoffs, and I think when you can show out in the playoffs, that just kind of shows the kind of pitcher you are when it matters most. For me, talk about this one. For me, that's for me seeing it there. I'm not right.
I do like more mad that they ranked him the best pitcher going into last year.
So that's a difference. Last year he was ranked 1.
Oh, okay.
Last year Garrett Cole was ranked 1. Now Garrett Cole started year last year, had an elbow issue. It was probably something where they could have done Tommy John, but it was just workout.
This is just for random.
Yeah, it was like a spring, something like that. So he took the first 3 or 4 months off.
Yeah,
back, pitched about 80 innings. Not to the best of his ability. It was around a 3.5 ERA, but did have a great playoffs.
Yeah,
has dominated in the past. So he comes at number 8. I can think of a few guys.
We'll see how the rest of those shake.
He still has 7 in on.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4 of them were not ranked last year. Oh, wow. So 4 of these last 7 are new to this list. And number 7, I love this ranking.
Dog. Not even dog. I went out strong with a full year.
I will tell you one of the people I'm actually, let me get here left with this list real quick. The one person I'm a little disappointed isn't on this list, and maybe, I could have sworn he had a decent year last year, is Gilbert.
Yeah, worse statistical year than you would think.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but like I personally going into this next year, I probably want to take. I know this is backtracking a little bit, but I just thought of him right now. I probably want to take him over like Framberg.
And so you take, no, I agree with that. Gilbert is somebody I believe he had over 200 Ks.
Yeah,
But I think he kind of.
He was a lot of long balls at
Yeah,
which is weird where he plays.
yeah. Say it up. Now, yeah,
I do like that though.
Cole Reagan's dog, and he's a lefty. He's a dominant lefty. He's going to get you your 10 to 11 Ks per nine.
Wasn't even best pitcher in his team.
He's shown the best batter Lugo was good.
All of it, but he's old.
So Seth Lugo. Spoiler alert: Seth Lugo is not on this list, and I think a big part of it is because he's an older pitcher.
Yeah.
So totally okay. Cole Reagan's coming into that 28, 29, 30-year-old season. That's your athletic prime.
Yeah, for sure.
Number 6, I want to say is a shot.
Oh, I was expecting him to be in this range.
Me too. He just didn't have a very good year last year.
He didn't. Boys, they're second in Cy Young still.
The ballpark's really gonna hurt. And Digger Divisional.
I mean, you could also argue that Arizona and I understand you play for Baltimore, but you could argue that Arizona's field is very similar to Milwaukee's, and he was just fine and won a Cy Young. And
It's not as good of a hitter ballpark as you might think.
I think the bigger issue is AJ's right. He's now playing in the West. He's going to be calling for dollars. It's hot, and he's going to play the Potters a lot, and he's going to be pitching in Colorado.
yeah,
So he could go out there and have like a 3.60 ERA, and everybody's going to freak out. But it was just no. He came to the team into a harder.
And think about it, Canton Yards has kind of become a pitcher's ballpark.
It had
Moved it like it. Phil Ejo. That's it. They're moving it back.
he claims he moves it back in. Sure. He could sign Gary Sanchez. I don't think anybody wants to sign Gary Sanchez, but they are moving the walls back in Camden Yard, the Hill. Give about the.
I guess what I'm saying, keep him free agent.
I just think it's crazy. I know Corbin Burns going to have the best year, but he still finished runner-up in Cy Young.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason where I'm like, I feel like 6 is kind of low.
Would you argue? I guess would you argue that obviously the winner of Cy Young is normally the most deserving?
Yes.
But would you argue that like maybe not even second, but places like 3rd to 5th are more of like a popularity vote more than somebody that was a sneaky good? Like you've never. Okay, so the way I'm trying to say it is
It's not like baseball.
but
Cy Young.
Like probably 4th.
Let me double check that because I know it was
like who was 3rd? Was it somebody that had a crazy year, or was it somebody that was just kind of a big name?
I think that 3rd was there.
Really.
Okay.
We look crazy. Oh, he was good. Cole Reagan's had a nice. So Cole Reagan's finished 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. He had 10.8 Ks per nine. I'm trying to click on the Cy Young race right now. Getting not letting me click. And now I'm seeing his career stats, and now it's not working. It's all right. I'm almost positive Seth Lugo finished 3rd. Okay. Crazy. But it didn't get out of it. I got it. First round of the playoffs. Oh, Seth Lugo was second. Burns actually fell down to 5th in Cy Young.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. There we go. High five to anybody who tells me he was 3rd for Cy Young in the AL.
Garrett Cole?
No.
Lake Framberg?
No. High five to anybody who tells me he was 3rd.
George Kirby.
No. Oh, interesting guess.
Logan Gilbert.
No.
Oh.
If I give you a hint, it's going to be too obvious. He pitched in the AL.
Oh, never mind. I lost it.
Oh, lost it. Release Gill.
No, you ready for the hint?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Relief pitcher.
What? Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Oh, go ahead. That's what I said. I can't give you a hint. It's going to be generally. I did do that.
I actually thought that if he had a legitimate chance until later in the year when Scooble said like Scooble was on. See, where Scooble kept it going, but if Scooble like faltered and had like a bad month and a half, I personally could have definitely seen him winning the Cy Young because his numbers to Eric Gagne's Cy Young numbers, well, he had better numbers. Yeah, Class A had better numbers. It was crazy.
Scooble and Craig.
Oh yeah. Good.
So the next person on this list, we're now moving into the top 5. This is the second player on this list to sign with a new team this year. We have Blake Snell at number 5. Also another player who threw their first no-hitter, which also happened to be their first complete game. Not only their first complete game, is their first time pitching past the 7th inning in my career.
I will say that I would take Blake Snell over almost any pitcher in the MLB if it's after, what is it, June?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's after June that he becomes elite. It's like his ERA before June is like 4.7 or something like that.
He's that's ERA.
After June, yeah, it needs time to lock. No, Blake Snell's unbelievable. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, what he's been Tampa Bay, San Francisco, San Diego, and not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, those 3 teams.
I will tell you that obviously his numbers are unbelievable anywhere, but it does help that he's pitching in legitimately almost only pitcher-friendly ballparks.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you travel up up and down the West Coast. But Blake Snell, I don't have a problem with him being 5.
Last year, he was also ranked 5.
I was about to say, I will tell you with since I've seen the list with other names on here, I'm fine with him being 5. Being on the Dodgers and probably him getting like 22 wins or something.
To say, he's probably going to be like 3. Yeah, I could see it. He feels like a 21 guy in the Dodgers because he feels like somebody who can make all their starts. He hasn't dealt with too many injury problems in his career, and oh my God, is he nasty.
Plus he's like a more successful. He's the pitcher I always wanted to be. A lot of walks,
He's walking through.
Good thing. This might be where he's most comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, he's committed long term now. You know, it never really felt
the lights. He once,
and it never really felt long term in San Diego. I think he liked it there.
Yeah.
I just don't think they were willing to pay him that. And then San Francisco probably didn't want to be there.
Nah, you got knocked
out. No, but I think right when you get the sweet spot right in the middle of the two, I feel like he's gonna be right at home.
All right, so the next 3 names on our list, all were not ranked last year. We're on 4th. I can feel it.
It's a little lower.
There you go. Like, geez.
What is that? Yeah, that's why I was gonna let us select. I hope that wasn't on there for an hour.
I don't even have I don't even have a long third dog.
The next 4 names on this list, all previously not ranked. Starting with number 4, he's our only other guy that didn't pitch the full season last year, and this is probably my favorite guy to watch in baseball right now.
Dragging my slut.
Yo, Sleptor is.
Yeah,
that's what I'll do.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would, looking at this list, if I were building a team and had to pick 3 of the 4 names on this list, I'd swap. And on this list, I'd swap him with number 1.
Wow.
I wouldn't put Paul Skeens 1, but
I would say he's ahead of number 1.
Yeah, I'd say he's ahead of number 1. I would say like he's on it. I would say no because number 2 deserves to be number 1. I would say that Paul Skeens, it's just a future too. I mean, it's either they get a team or they ship his ass to New York Mets.
For me,
that's what I'm saying. It's like especially this is the first one that I feel especially when you hear 1.
Let's see the top 3 out.
Before I just want to make a quick story about Paul Skeens. There are not many prospects out there that make me stop what I'm doing to watch their debut. And Paul Skeens made me do that. I was supposed to be helping people move, and I have my phone on because I'm sorry that Paul Skeens is pitching in the major leagues for the first time in a bit. And then his second start, sorry, Paul Skeens is pitching in the major leagues for the second time ever. And all they start, it's like I had to watch him, and he's a must-watch base.
I'd argue that he's one of, maybe 3 people that are stop whatever you're doing to watch. 100%. Shohei Ohtani's number 1.
Yeah.
He's probably 2.
He feels like OG Strasburg to me.
And it was the name was sort of like burst onto the scene, and you're immediately a top 3 pitcher.
So for me, what is he going to win a World Series MVP with his original team? I don't see
and then never do anything ever again.
Yeah. That's injury. Top 3. Oh, here's your go.
I personally love these top 3. I think number 1's a shock, but I think if you break down number 1,
Herbie's in right now.
Herbie is over 1 now. Okay. So number 3 is. Sale ranks as your number 3 starting pitcher. That is your NL Cy Young. Now, top 3 pitcher. He just had one of the most dominant seasons. This is a elite season. He's getting put here at 3. I think you can guess who at least one of the pitchers above him is. He was previously not ranked, but he wasn't ranked because of injuries. He was somebody who had a hard time getting on the field. Comes to a new team, back on the field, and puts up Chris Sale numbers. That's kind of what happened. So,
how old is he?
Oh, he's up. He's in his 30s.
He's low to mid 30. I was going to say low to mid.
I was saying like 30.
He's somebody who is he was early career Hall of Fame path, especially as a lefty. Middle of his career injuries, and he has put himself back on a Hall of Fame path, especially getting that Cy Young. Now,
I think that the only problem I have with this is it's a projection.
Yes.
If Chris Sale stays healthy, he deserves it.
I know the last two. Okay.
If Chris Sale stays healthy, he deserves this balloon. Yeah. If he doesn't, obviously you're not playing.
Yeah, it'll fall off the list.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
He's so volatile and that, like, yeah.
But if he stays healthy, you know what you're getting with Chris Sale, and you could argue that he's definitely a top.
He's got 40 strikeouts and a 2.2 ERA. It's great.
It's just funny because obviously a lefty, and I'd always rank him healthy. I'd always still rank him above Blake Snell because he's literally just a better Blake Snell.
Yeah. So the reason why I like this list, and the one that we're going to share this list, that's great. I like it. There is Baby Randy, sidearm lefty. The reason why I wanted to share this list is because this guy at number 2, I thought was a guaranteed lock to be the number 1 pitcher. Because he is.
I think so.
Here, Skubal is ranked number 2.
So here, Cy Young's, you're going to. Walker's better, but
Both these youngs are not ranked number 1. One of them, Tarek Skubal, being somebody who's 24, 25. He is ranked 2. I thought he was a lock for number 1 on this list, 100%. He comes off one of the best seasons we've seen recently, and he was somebody who not only started strong, but when it came down to it, finished even stronger. And he's just going to build off that. And he's a lefty that throws 100, and he's got a wipeout slider. He's on a great team for in. Coach, it's just a perfect situation, and I thought he was a lock for 1. Right, I got a horse. What if you're wrong?
Oh, yeah, right.
You want to get Ken. That's cool.
Should do. I think it should be 1.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can make the argument for a number 1 guy.
Nope.
But
you're not changing my mind.
No boss should be 1.
Nope.
Mr. Tight Dan?
Who's tight fans?
What? That's Spencer is not on the list, which wouldn't have shocked me. So what? You ready for number 1? Okay. What the fuck is doing? I'm gonna make a defense for number 1. They have Zach Wheeler as the number 1. Last year he was 6. So not only was he ranked 1, the Shredder decided, MLB Network decided he
Over the 2 reigning Cy Young?
That's fumbled.
over the 2 Cy Youngs.
Shock.
Hey, they did. I mean, they chose Noah Syndergaard.
All right.
They chose Syndergaard.
I'm gonna get up my pedestal or whatever. I'm gonna do my share. Defense. He's not zero strong.
He's been good, but
I'm gonna. It's fine. I'm gonna listen. I'm a fan. In defense of Zach Wheeler, I don't think we realize how good of a season Zach Wheeler had because it was never Zach Wheeler should be Cy Young.
Lost play.
Zach Wheeler went out there and made 32 starts.
Damn.
Made 32 starts.
That's like every start.
Sale only made 29. And Tarek only made 31. So more starts than the Cy Youngs. Not that many more. Now, it feels like he probably had a 3-something ERA. That's really what Zach Wheeler does. Zach Wheeler went out and had a 2.57 ERA.
An unbelievable year.
2.57. Here's the big one for me. Why, in defense of Zach Wheeler, 200 innings pitched. Wow. You do not see that in baseball that often. 200 innings pitched. Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale, 177. Oof. 170. Cy Young Award winner Tarek Skubal, 192. They could not get that 200 innings.
At least that one game difference, though.
That is true. But he didn't make it. Actually, no. 1 game difference. He still wouldn't have made it. 192 innings. He would have had to throw a complete game. Zach Wheeler. Maybe you're thinking, Zach Wheeler, he's just an innings merchant. Zach Wheeler had the lowest whip in the NL. He has a 0.955 whip. What was this? So he was 955 whip. Hey, so a sub 1.8. He's not letting anybody on base. He's pitching more innings than anybody else. He's winning games. He's winning games for a premier team. Now you might think, okay, what has he done recently?
We're in the bottom 7 for all time.
Zach Wheeler's last 4 seasons. 32 starts, 26 starts, 32 starts, 32 starts. What are you getting at Zach Wheeler? Guaranteed 200.
He starts for the Mets.
Guaranteed 200. I don't even know if he had that many starts for the Mets. It's his last year for the Mets, 31 starts. Dang. Wow, let's start. So what does he do? He pitched the only time he has not pitched at least 25 starts since his last year in the Mets during COVID. Because COVID allows him out. Every year besides that, he gets you start. He gets you strikeouts. He keeps a low ERA. Zach Wheeler had MVP votes this year. Damn. So, do I think Tarik Skubal should be number one? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
In defense of Zach Wheeler,
Strong game.
I think he's a slow set off.
Yeah, see, what happened to the roller coaster there?
Wait, I thought his whip was like a 1-4 in Mets.
Here you go. You ready? 17 starts his rookie year. 32 starts the second year.
Damn, he's in these.
2014. 2015, when they went to the World Series, didn't play him.
Was that his TJ season though?
Yeah. 17 after that,
Back from TJ.
and then, to be fair, 29 and 31.
No, he plays but always so on. But what has he done? Start.
But also, to be fair, 3.6, 3.3 WAR, 2.8 in COVID.
That would be impressive. Ready?
He almost matched his entire rating.
Ready for this next season?
7.5
And that
4.8.
that's 7.5. Was it bold? That means he fell in war. So it might be actually.
Why can't he pitch like that for the Mets? No wonder they chose Syndergaard. And how'd that work out? A motherfucker pitched for the Angels for 2. The Angels had selfish.
First year at the Eagles, defined aura. It was so.
I don't know what the definition of aura is.
Seeing him out there
No,
with the City Connects, brother.
Thor was Oro when he was on the Mets and throwing 101. I bet he blew up so good.
That was really good.
So then, all I know is I remember a time. This was actually when they went to the World Series in 2015, but also before that in 2014, where they had Harvey, DeGrom, Wheeler.
Loved it.
He was go. He was, but he was also very good at sniffing cocaine. They had Harvey, DeGrom, Wheeler, Syndergaard, and Steven Matz, who his career didn't pan out. But he was a serviceable lefty for a while, and they only completed a full rotation once.
That sounds about right. Wow. Yeah, well, I'm glad I was able to talk about that list because there are going to be more lists, but I think seeing Zach Wheeler there at number one. He does.
You know, given the record, the track record,
With your arguments though, like you so it's not a little bit over he's in the test. If my goat's not on, it's not.
Okay, but as a Mets fan, he has bias, so I don't care about his opinion. We're just, in defense of Zach Wheeler, I think he's put together. It's settles about the Mac. That's the year. He has put together a resume. Sort of gives up a lot of homework to make an argument for number one. I think that's it for us today.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Play by Play. This is our first episode of 2025. In the comments below, let us know who you think is going to win these divisional rounds, who you think is going to win the college football championship, and if you think Zach Wheeler deserves to be number one, because I might be okay with it.
No, you won't.